Hello Marvel Strike Force fans, it is your friendly neighborhood fasting comic book guy here today, and I am going to give you a list of 15 characters that are easily farmable and free to play. So, in order to make it onto the list, they have to be farmable through such means as nodes, the Blitz store, the Raid store, the Arena store, or the War store. You do not qualify for this list if it is with money or orbs. So characters like the Phoenix, Nick Fury, Magneto, Minerva, Black Bolt, Invisible Woman, they do not make it onto this list because in order to get them you have to do either a legendary event or you have to spend some money or get them through means such as opening up orbs. So yeah, this is basically a list of 15 characters, and I think that they are the most valuable ones. They will all have basic uses throughout the entire game in all aspects, in arena, raiding, war. I'm going to give you the advantages for each character in all of them, and yeah, that's basically what's going to be. So these are going to be 15 characters that you should farm because in the game they will definitely be useful to you. Don't get me wrong, some of them will probably be easier to farm than others. Some will require luck, like say the War store. That is basically a hit and miss. It's not going to be the same unlock every single time, but you know, it's a lot easier to farm those characters than opening up a random orb and having like 1 out of 50 chance of getting like one shard. So yeah, this is my list, and let's just start off with number 15. First up on the list is Miles Morales, Spider-Man. He is great because he is able to clear positive effects on the target, he is able to slow down the team, and prolong negative effects. He can also do disrupts, and on his turn, he can apply defense down. He is available in the Blitz store for 500 Blitz tokens, and the reason why he makes the list is because with the introduction to the new Spider-Man symbiote, he is going to be one of the vital members for the Spider-Verse team. So yeah, he is going to be great for raiding, and I would definitely recommend having him in the game for that exact reason if you are a fan of raiding. So that's my number 15, so going on to the next one. Coming in at number 14 is our crazy red guy, Carnage. He is on the list because we were recently introduced the symbiote Spider-Man, and he has some great synergy with him along with other Spider-Verse characters. So basically, whenever a character is below 25% health, he applies an extra speed bar for everybody that has the symbiote trait. He also likes to spread negative effects as well as apply bleeds. Before Symbiote Spider-Man was introduced, he was used along with Venom in the Brotherhood team for replacements with Sabretooth and Mystique. He can be available in the War store if you are lucky to pick him up. He is also part of the Dream Team for the end of Dark Dimensions 3, as long as you include him with Venom and Spider-Man. And by Spider-Man, I mean the symbiote Spider-Man. In the game right now, Carnage is mainly viable for the raids. So, carrying on to the next character on our list. Coming in at number 13 is the Venom character, no surprise there, and again it is because of the symbiote Spider-Man, making him incredibly viable for raiding. He has his own node in Nexus 6-9 that you can farm daily. What does Venom like to do? Well, he likes to flip positive effects, he likes to apply tons and tons of bleeds, he likes to spread bleeds and other negative effects. He likes to also apply ability block, he has a self-heal, and he also likes to do a heal block to the characters. Just like Carnage, when it comes to Dark Dimensions 3 at the very end, he is part of the Dream Team as long as you have the symbiote Spider-Man. Overall, he is a very mean character, mainly used for raiding. He was part of the replacements for the Brotherhood team along with Carnage, like I said before, for the Sabretooth and Mystique, who went over to the Marauders. But now that Symbiote Spider-Man is back, he has his own home again. I think it's safe to say that now that Symbiote Spider-Man has made Venom and Carnage more useful to the characters in the game, people are a lot happier now that they actually have a reason to level up these characters for a good reason. So, coming up next on the list, we have number 12. It is Pyro, the Master of Bleeds, although I think he should actually be the Master of Burns. Now, the reason why he is so good is because he is part of what is left of the Brotherhood team. He is basically the biggest damage dealer on the team. If you leave him alone, he will destroy the other opposing team because, yeah, basically that is all he is there for. He'll toss bleeds and bleeds and bleeds on you. Every single one of his abilities basically does bleeds. He also does an ability where basically once your health gets below a certain point, he will put a heal block on you to keep you from being saved. So yeah, he is freaking awesome. He is not the most farmable person right now. He is in the war store, but that is still part of the criteria, so that is pretty cool. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Pyro. He is a really, really important part to the Brotherhood team. He basically is what is one of the main keys to make that team work. Actually, in fairness, every character is needed to make a team work. You can't really have a team and have it not really work without having all the proper components for it. So number 11 on the list is Graviton. And he is on the list because he basically helps the AIM team become super awesome. When Scientist Supreme is part of the team also, he can apply a bleed, he can stun the other targets on the team, he can slow them down, he increases the AIM minions' health and their damage, and in war he can change the speed bar on the enemy team. So basically he is a very well-rounded character to have, especially on the AIM team. Now, if you want a good team to have for either a war offense or a war defense, focusing on the AIM team is a really good idea. So having Graviton is a really awesome choice to do when you're creating that team, and he is currently available in the war store. Coming in at number 10 is Psylocke. What is Psylocke good for? Well, aside from being on probably the best team in the entire game, the X-Men team, she is basically one of the key players, I feel, for that team. She is currently available in the Cosmic 3-6. So what does she do? Well, this is what she does. She is able to transfer all negative effects on her and her fellow X-Men allies onto the opposing team. She is able to apply evasion and counter when people get below health. She also spawns with evasion and counter. She also clears positive effects from the other team. Like, she does a lot of damage and she can screw over the other team quite a bit. So I would definitely recommend farming Psylocke if you're going to work on the best team in the game, the X-Men. Coming in for number 9 is the mighty Thor. He is available in the raid store. So why is he on the list? Well, it is because he is one of the key characters on the Asgard team, and the Asgard team are the best defense for war currently in the game. And the reason why I say farm him is because he is also used to help unlock Black Bolt. So say you got him up to 7 stars, then that's one less character you have to worry about getting to 7 stars when you want to get Black Bolt, who is also a really awesome character to have, but he is not farmable, so that's why he's not on the list. Anyways, what Thor brings to the team is he is able to stun the other team. He does massive AoE damage. He can heal. He also does basically whenever one of his teammates takes damage, he'll gain a charge, and when he gets up to 5 charges, he'll do another massive AoE. So basically he is a huge powerhouse part of the Asgardian team, and if you don't have him, your Asgard team will definitely be not anywhere near as effective as they could be. So make it number 9 is the mighty Thor. Coming at number 8 on the list is Loki, who is farmable in Mystics 3-6. What makes him so good is that he is in part of the best war defense team in the game for the Asgardians. He will apply stealth to everybody in the party and summon minions who have evade. Also, when you are focusing on a person, when they get below 50% health, he will also toss stealth on them, making it so that you don't kill them and they get healed all over again and you have to start from the beginning. So yeah, Loki is a very, very annoying character to have. He will always basically have some kind of evade on him because of his basic. So yeah, definitely recommend farming him. He's also used to help unlock the Phoenix character. So yeah, one of the most important characters in the game to farm. Coming at number 7 on the list is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a valuable character, especially with the supernatural team. I think he can basically make or break the team. If you are able to kill Doctor Strange in that team, the rest of them will fall pretty well easily after that. So yeah, Doctor Strange is one of the more important people on the supernatural team. He is able to flip all positive effects on the enemy team. He is able to resurrect people. He is able to heal. He is able to toss negative effects on the people with his basic. He is a very, very scary person if you leave him alone. Like, I know when I'm fighting him and I see him in a raid, he is the first person I go after because I don't want to have to kill a whole bunch of people and then have him basically resurrect them and ruin all my progress. So yeah, he is definitely a very great character to have. The key person for the supernatural team. He is good on war offense, and he is not a very easy farm. He is available in the Mystics 2-9, so he's a little bit further on in the game. But again, that is what makes him so valuable and so good, is that he isn't going to be that easy to farm. And yeah, like I said, he is a very great character. Being able to do all that stuff, you can definitely screw over the other team, especially if they have a lot of positive effects. I love being able to flip all of them into negatives and seeing all that red on the negative on the enemy team. So that's my number 7 is Doctor Strange. Number 6 on this list is Rocket Raccoon. He is available in the raid store on chance, and the reason why he is on the list is because he is used to help unlock Star-Lord. He is a huge AoE damage dealer. He is part of one of the best raid teams in the game, going up to Ultima 6, which is the BKT team. And if you're unaware of who's on that team, it is Thanos, Minerva, Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord, and Groot. When he is paired with Groot, he does an insanely huge amount of damage, basically just AoEing everybody over and over again. And when he's on the BKT team, you have Thanos feeding him energy all the time, so he's just constantly doing massive AoE damage and just clearing the entire field. And he isn't a hard farm. Like, he is a pretty easy farm. I think in the raid store you just have to have RNG and just use your raid token credits for it. So yeah, number 6 on the list is definitely a key player, is Rocket Raccoon. He is also one of the recommended characters that people like to use when entering Dark Dimensions 2 for the first time. So getting up to Gear 13 is highly recommended. Coming in at number 5 on the list, are you surprised? It is Groot. Now, the reason why Groot is on the list is because he applies Death Proof, he clears negative effects, he has a chance to revive if he dies. When he does die, he applies defense up to all of his allies. If Rocket is on the team, he will give him Death Proof. If they're a Guardians character, he will give them counter, offense up, and speed up. Like, he does it all. He is recommended when you're starting Dark Dimensions 2 for that reason, because he has saved my life more than once, more than I can count, when I started Dark Dimensions 2. So yeah, Groot is a very, very valuable character to have in the game. He is farmable in Nexus 2-9, and another thing that he has is he has a pretty good, decent, hard-hitting basic. And the only T4 that you really need to put on him would be his passive. So yeah, coming in at number 5 is I Am Groot. Coming in at number 4 on the list is Vision. Vision is a bit of a harder character to farm because he is part of the Mystics 3-9 campaign. So what makes Vision so good is that he has the ability to do ability block on the enemy team. He can clear all their positive effects with a massive AoE. He is very annoying to kill because he has an incredibly high dodge chance, just like Spider-Man. So yeah, he's got a very, very good kit, and he can be a very dangerous person to come across when you're fighting against him. He is right now used mainly with the Power Armor team for war offense. Basically what he does is he gives everybody an added defense up when he spawns in. So yeah, he is a very, very important character to have. He has also noticed is used a lot when completing the challenges that they have in the game, like the end game challenges that are like really, really hard to do. So yeah, he's a very important character to have. Definitely would recommend having him. I do not regret putting any of the work that I did into him, and I'm quite happy with him. Now, coming in at number 3 on the list is the Falcon character. Again, he is part of the Power Armor team. He is farmable in the Nexus 7-3. So what makes him usable is that he is really, really well recommended for the Ultimate 7 raids. I did not end up using him at all for my Dark Dimension passes, so I don't know how well he does there. He is very usable in arena offense. He is great for war offense with the Power Armor team. So what does he bring to the Power Armor team is the main thing that people love about him is his speed bar. Is that basically he will, when the other team has a whole lot of positive effects, he will use his ability to increase everyone's speed bar by, it can go up to past 100%. So you can get multiple turns. So basically you're going over and over again with your turns. And that's one of the main things part of this game, are the ability to go before your enemy team. And he also has a really, really good AoE. And yeah, he's got a really basic kit, but he uses it very, very well. So yeah, Falcon is number 3 on the list. Unless you're like in an in-game team like Alliance, you probably won't be using him that much, but that's okay. Coming in at number 2 on the list is the Scientist Supreme, who is farmable in the Cosmic 2-9 campaign. Now, if you are unlucky like me, you will not get her shards every time you do this node every day, but I'm still farming her. She is one of my favorite characters. I am using her in pretty much every aspect of the game. She is great for arena, she is great for raiding, she is great for war, she is great in blitz, and she doesn't have to be part of an aim team to be usable. She can actually be used pretty much in almost any combination. I'm using her currently in the Dark Dimensions 2 to just continue, just to keep getting more achievements basically. She is great for war offense and defense. She has amazing synergy with her team, the AIM guys. What does she bring to the game? Basically, her primary attack will apply to random negative effects. She has a special which will flip negative effects into positive effects. But, you know, how great is that? Well, when she uses her ultimate, it will heal her entire party, but it will also put on a whole bunch of negative effects. And then right after that, she uses her special, which will flip all those positive effects. And she's also putting those negative effects on the enemy team when she does use her ultimate. Her passive ability, she has a 25% chance to revive a fallen member. Like, that is huge. So the team that I'm using right now in Dark Dimensions, I have Minerva, I have Ultron, I have Groot, I have the Scientist Supreme, and I have Star-Lord. So basically, between Scientist Supreme and Minerva, I don't have to worry about any of my original team people dying, because if one of them does end up dying by accident, one of those two people will resurrect the other. So yeah, they're just great. I just put the game on auto and just keep farming it over and over again. Even though I'm not getting any actual returns, it's just for the achievement. So yeah, Scientist Supreme, totally recommend her. I even used the free 6 stars that FoxNext recently gave us to make her go from 5 red stars to 6 red stars, and I do not regret it at all. She is one of my favorite characters, highly recommended. Coming at number 1 on the list is no one's surprise, but Colossus. Colossus has been in the game for a very long time and has been unfarmable for a very, very long time. And he just recently became farmable. He is available in the Heroes 7-9 node. It is not an easy farm because you have to have pretty powerful characters just to get to that point. He is part of the X-Men, which are the best team in the game. Now, what does he bring to them? Well, basically, on his basic, he has a pretty decent attack, but he will also apply offense down to the target. For his special, he gains taunt, and he gains counter, and he will apply deflect to self and other X-Men allies. For his ultimate, it increases the duration of his positive effects, he gains death proof, and he also gains charges. Now this is where it's a lot of rating basically for his kit. For his passive, on spawn if he has a charge, he gains an ability. If Phoenix is an ally, he will gain defense up, and he will also apply defense up to all other X-Men allies. Now when a negative effect is applied to an X-Men ally, he will gain a charge up to a maximum of 5. So while charged, when attacked, then he'll attack that enemy for 75% damage plus an extra 10% per. So that's only if you only have it T3. So if you had it maxed up, it'll actually do 100% damage. When an X-Men ally drops below 50% max health, he will gain taunt up to a maximum of 2. While defense up is on him, he will gain 1000 resistance. He gains 15% max health, and other X-Men allies also gain 15% max health. So he's a very great tank to have in the game when you're pairing him up with the X-Men team. So definitely number 1 on the list. Put everything you have in him once you start farming him. Once you have him unlocked, just get him up to tier 13. Put all of your abilities into him. Do whatever you can, because yeah, if you want to have one of the best teams in the game, which are the X-Men, this is the character to put money into. And by money, I just mean resources. Don't spend money on the game. It's a really, really bad idea. And that is my list of 15 characters that I think are the most important to farm in the game right now. And if you thought that was helpful, please hit the subscribe button on the left and check out one of my other newer videos on the right. Have a good day, have a good night, and have a good morning. Peace.